The world sucks. There's so much going on in the world that is like, listen, we live in a world where it's like money rules everything around us. It's the means to an end, it's a means to a beginning, it's a means to almost everything in this dunya. So this is why we raise money.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have some very unfortunate news to share with you guys today. Unfortunately, a masjid, our beloved, the home of Allah, one of our masajid was burnt down in an arson attack. Yes, an actual arson attack. This was not a mistake. This is somebody in an act of Islamophobia going out of their way to disrespect us as Muslims and our religion and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the house of Allah. And Brother Fayed has more information on that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And by the way, the Sheikh is a good friend of ours. He's from Tacoma, Washington. He's the leader, he's the Imam of this masjid. And I'm just gonna look a little bit into the campaign that we're gonna put a link in the description. So it says help rebuild the Islamic Center of Tacoma after arson. So the goal is 3 million USD, and alhamdulillah, there's already 500,000 already raised. So Bismillah. It is with great sorrow that we inform you of a tragedy that hit our community at the Islamic Center of Tacoma on the evening of October 11th, so just a month and a half ago. Our masjid was the target of an arson attack. A person was seen throwing a Molotov cocktail at the masjid just before Isha prayer. The fire ripped through the masjid, and alhamdulillah, people were able to escape unscathed. The fire department arrived and quickly dosed the fire. Unfortunately, in extinguishing the flames, the water resulted in a lot of damage as it seeped into the foundation. The damage from the flames, smoke, and water has left our home irreparable, and our community grieves for our loss. We have since brought someone to look at the damages, and we were informed that damages were so severe that it would cost just as much to rebuild the masjid. The insurance company said that only about 500,000 could be granted, which is not even remotely enough to rebuild the masjid. We are calling on our community to come together and stand with us at this very difficult time. Our beloved Prophet ﷺ once said that the parable of the believers in the sympathy and mercy is that of one body. If one part of it is afflicted with a disease, then the rest of the body begins to aid it with causing deprivation of sleep and fever. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
Sounds like a news channel.
Sounds like a what?
Sounds like a news channel, bro. Is that what we are now?
Nah, man.
TPN live.
We gotta protect the ummah. And on her, bro,
Only when it matters.
from your hasn't even been, or maybe it's been just over a year of you reverting. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. What have you learned thus far about sadaqah, about giving, about paying it forward for the ummah?
It's the best thing you can do, because whatever you give, Allah is gonna give you tenfold. Whatever you give in the sake of Allah, Allah is gonna reward you and bless you tenfold. And it was funny that you said that, man, because like in YouTube, I was scrolling, and the guy named Jordan M or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Muslim. I think he's a revert as well. Someone left a comment on his channel saying like, "Oh, isn't it funny how like all the Muslim YouTubers and stuff, they're always trying to do a charity. They're always trying to like raise funds for something." And he was trying to say that it sounded suspicious, and it's like he would like to know where all the money is going to. And then Jordan had responded like, "Oh, like one day you'll find out. You'll find out why we all give charity. And man, it's crazy that like people would even think that way. It's like why are we all raising money so frequently? Why do you see these ads so frequently where you have these humanitarian groups that are trying to raise money? It's because the world sucks. There's so much going on in the world that is like, listen, we live in a world where it's like money rules everything around us. It's the means to an end, it's a means to a beginning, it's a means to almost everything in this dunya. So this is why we raise money. And trust that if everyone in the ummah was rich and they were millionaires and stuff like that, probably wouldn't even raise the money. We'd probably just be giving that sadaqah just as is.
I agree. If everyone really paid zakat, which is 2.5% of your yearly earnings, there would be no financial, I guess, issues in the world. But is everyone really doing that? Are we really doing that? Yes, you're paying tax to your kafar state. I don't advise any of you do tax evasion now. But are you really paying zakat? Are you really doing sadaqah? Ask yourself that. And inshallah you are. And if you're not, it's not too late.
Inshallah. And on top of that, I just want to add, it's not even just 2.5% of your income. there's no income tax. It's 2.5% of your excessive wealth. So after you pay everything you need to pay, and that amount of money you have left over, 2.5% of that, that's all
Which
you
is
have to pay.
nothing, bro.
It's nothing
It's
for the individual,
nothing.
but it's everything for the community.
Yo. And then at the same time, like I said, whatever you give in sadaqah and charity for the sake of Allah, like Allah will reward you tenfold. Maybe even more than that. You know, Allah knows best. But it's like, think about it, like let's say 2.5% of let's say you got 10K left over. You serious, bro? Like 2.5% of 10K? Like that's so minimum. Like you said, that's a huge thing for the ummah. That's a huge thing for others who are in need of that money. And then to know that you are going to be rewarded even more for what you gave. Like what you gave, you're gonna be rewarded even more. I'm trying to say compounded. You guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
guys get what I'm
y'all
saying.
slaving like 16 hours a day, not spending time with your family, with your loved ones, to save up to build a small ass house here, when you could literally just be doing the bare minimum and just donating money for the sake of Allah, and Allah will build you a mansion. And you know, there's so many easy ways. There's so much reward. Like a woman that obeys her husband, guards her chastity, prays 5 times a day. There's a few criteria. Very simple, right? Bare minimum as a Muslim, alhamdulillah, and she can enter Jannah from whatever gate, whatever entry she chooses. So it's like, why? Why not take the way of Allah? Why not accept Allah's reward and incentives? Right? So it's almost like, why chase the dunya when the dunya is just going to keep increasing its demands and expectations and requirements and prerequisites, when you could just literally just take one step in the step of Allah, in the path of Allah, and Allah is going to take 10 steps for you. So we'll leave you with that.
Bro, and it goes to that story of the prostitute who she probably didn't have much, but she saw that cat and
It's a dog, bro.
oh, she saw the dog. My bad. Jazakallah here for correcting me, bro. She saw the dog and then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna give this dog, was it milk?
It was water from the well.
Water from the well. Like that was an act of charity in and of itself. She may not have had the means to provide food and stuff like that, but she took out of her time. She had the intention to give back to this dog, just just help it out. And like, look how she was rewarded for this. She made it to Jannah. She made it to Jannah because of this act of charity. So again, like 2.5%. And let's say you don't even have 2.5%. Let's say you don't have extra money, saved up at the end. You can still give sadaqah. You can still give charity in one way, shape, or form. And that will be repaid tenfold, if not more.
100%, bro. What a beautiful note to end it on. And Rami, do you think, bro?
اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
أشهد أن لا